Welcome back. Another week, another stream. Okay, let's have a brief chat about what's been going on this week. So the bug fixing has continued. We obviously released our patch last week, which fixed some of the major crashes people were having. Although another crash has been happening as well, which will be fixed with the next patch. So there's been quite a few issues that we're still going through, and they tend to be, although not all of them, they tend to be as a result of either the leaf cutters being introduced to free play, or the new movement code, which obviously affects everything in the game. So yeah, we're going through these bugs, and it's been fantastic to have so much support on our forums and on the Steam forums of people reporting things. It's made our lives a lot easier when people are giving things a real thorough test. Okay, so I'll chat about some of the bugs that we fixed over the past couple of days, but I'll also have a chat about what's coming and various other things. But first of all, I'm going to continue my bug fixing with some of the smaller bugs. Then I'll take on a slightly bigger bug. Okay, right. So I've received a few reports of we go to free play levels. There's a few reports of just minor issues on the levels. We'll deal with those. So Embankment is obviously the new map. This one's got a few minor issues, and a lot of the issues are really minor here. So I thought they'd be good ones to do on stream because nothing can go wrong with the fixing. One of the issues we have with streams is that I can sometimes get stuck on a problem for half a day, and whilst I've got the pressure of the stream going, it's hard to concentrate on problems like that. Okay, so we're loading Embankment at the minute. You can't see it, but we are. And we're going to go over a few of those. So I have some screenshot. Well, there's... Okay, that one's not important. Okay. So there's an issue with a food item underground that when the cavern's dug out, the food item doesn't get unburied with it. My cursor's showing up. Yeah, it is. Okay. So it looks like it's on the one with the curly bit at the bottom. This one. So it looks to me like the food items in question are this one. And one further up, this one. Now, on first glance, they don't look like they're colliding with anything. If I have a look at the collision, where is it? There. Still don't look like they're colliding with anything. Okay. Right. In that case, we're going to have to run some tests on this map. Which is unfortunately going to require me going into the main menu and starting a free play game. So yeah, there was an issue earlier today, which was such a basic issue. But what was happening after I made a change to fix another issue where the creatures were being spawned slightly in the ground when they were spawned in waves in free play. So I made a change to that, and then I ran a test. I should play as Gene Thief actually. I ran a test, and it was going like flickering from between night to day when it's meant to be spawning them, and I couldn't see them spawning. It was very confusing. But what it turned out I'd done is I'd accidentally plugged the location into the scale of the creature that was spawning. So instead of spawning at location 4,000, 2,000 or something like that, it was actually spawning 4,000 times bigger than it was meant to be. And it flicking between night and day was actually it blocking out the sun. And then dying because it couldn't put itself correctly on the tile grid. And then it would flick to day again as the next one spawned. So yeah, it was a Godzilla issue really. Another one was an issue where if you play as leaf cutters in free play, it spawns the plants, but for every time you save it, each plant was creating a non-creature. So it was like a creature that didn't have a class, it was just a non-creature. I'm wondering if that's how Missing No happened in Pokemon. So just a Pokemon that just had a base class and didn't have any specific class. But yeah, these non-creatures were being spawned at 0, 0, 0.
In this small corner of the
Well, that's not good.
Creatures continue their day-to-day lives, unaware that a new power is about to rise in the Undergrowth.
That wasn't good at all. I think what we had there... We haven't spawned in the right location, by the way, so we're going to have to go anyway, but... What we actually had there was the Queen's bum being in the wall. Ah, that's something I wanted to fix. Well, let's try and fix that one. Oh, not test levels. Free play. Embankment. So how are you doing? You people okay? Yeah, these non-creatures were being spawned for every plant at 000, and the only reason it was spotted was because the water in Towhead tries to kill creatures that are in contact with it, and it was causing lag spikes because more and more of these things were being created the more saving loading you did. So it was trying to kill 300 odd creatures at a time, multiple times a second. I wonder if the Queen's start location in here is slightly off. Might be. Yeah, it looks a bit too close to this wall. That's probably what was causing that issue. Anyway, the other issue I wanted to solve was this. I can't move it, I'm going to have to make it bigger. It's probably big enough. No, it's not. I can still see the issue. Okay, yeah, that's been solved. Okay. So I don't really want to fix this until I can replicate it, because if I move them, I'll never know if there's a deeper issue. Right, Huffman. Good to have my my favourite bug tracker with us. The one that's really put the hours in this time. This is going to be a bit slow because I need to rerun set the free play setup multiple times until I spawn into the right location. And starting a free play game is a lot slower in the editor than it is in Aha! Pick of Death! Good to have you back with us. It's a lot slower than it is in the actual game. I think it doesn't like changing maps whilst the editor's running, but it'll do it. Still more bugs on my list. But Devil's Coach Horse larvae are still attacking non-pick-upable creatures. I don't know why that's happening, because I only just implemented a fix for that. I guess I didn't test it properly. Right, if I just run this again, I think it'll put me back in the same start location, unfortunately. I think the start locations are determined when you hit the start button, not when the level loads. Yeah,
this nest may be small, but given a chance, it will grow to become a sprawling underground city.
At least I've been able to check that that's working. It seems to be working this time. Okay. Let's go back to the menu. I mean, there might not be a deeper problem. It might just be that it's slightly in the wall. Although the collision really didn't look like it was, which is what's confusing me. Good old bug solving. Right, because running through this multiple times is going to take a while, so should be fine. Let me have a look at the source control and we'll see what's been added since last time. Fortunately, I used to put a comment in about the version update. I don't seem to have done so this time because I forgot. So I need to figure out when I did the version update. It was on Friday, wasn't it? Which was a week ago, which was the 10th. So anything since the 10th is new. There's quite a lot of commits here. Oh, I'm lucky. I've spawned in the same place again.
Day-to-day lives, unaware that a new power is about to rise in the undergrowth.
Yeah, spawned in the same place. Try again. Forget giving things sensible names. Okay, so dated version number. Okay, extended Christmas level. That was obviously beforehand. Built any accessible surface maps. That was obviously beforehand. Okay. Added an option slider for darkened squares between the resource counters at the top of the UI. So I think that's a UI option to improve visibility of resources. I actually haven't tried that, so we'll give that a go once the level starts up. Liam said he fixed problems with unwanted Z movements in several places. Might solve some problems. I think that was an issue that was causing some things to spawn up in the air and cause issues. Okay. Well, I've spawned at a different location this time, but it doesn't look like it's the one I wanted. It's not. Okay, let's try again. So 1 in 4 each time. Okay, I did some Z movement checks, problems and emergency escape routes. Liam shifted the cliff capsule removal to the right place on the thin ramp. Okay, so that was some bugs that were coming up with the thin ramp. Found some missing links on the thin ramp. So people getting their creatures stuck on the thin ramp on the dunes. This will be that. Some more issues fixed with the thin ramp. Sound concurrency issue with the rove beetles and the wood ants. Okay. Exposed call to arms on okay, that's not needed. Forcing, okay, force slow trails. Liam's updated the trail calculations, so there should be more ants at the end of the trail, more consistent flow, and less ants wasting time underground. I think we've got the right one. Bingo.
in the undergrowth.
Bingo. Okay, let's go and see if we can harvest this food. Well, dig it out and see if it's harvestable. Okay, let's take a look. Right. Yeah, okay. Anything with a green outline is still flagged as buried. Although it will only have a green outline if it's still in the floor. This one, for example, isn't flagged as buried. These two are. So interestingly enough, it's actually different ones that were stuck in the image that Hofnerd posted. Yeah. So we'll have a look at the code. Well, it's just a blueprint to do with unburying these. So yeah, they should have their eye on a tile, if I remember correctly. There is a chance I know what this is. Okay, so it's sort of random. Let me explain what I think's happening. We'll see if that's the case. So here what we've got is it's setting up the random mesh. What it's doing is it's taking the random mesh and it's running either rotate all or rotate yaw only. Now yaw, we got yaw, which on the 3-axis location, yaw would be like rotating it around like this. So therefore, the way it works, at the minute is it's got something hovering above it to do a check of whether the tiles exists above it. So when we rotate it in the yaw, the top doesn't change. But if we pitch it, which is like that, or roll it, then this thing at the top, which is set up to detect the tile, can move to the side. So my guess is these are rotated. There are -85, -85, and -85. See, it's set up to do that on begin play. So each time the game runs, it will rotate it randomly. It's just kind of a good job that it occurred there, because I'd have been so confused if it hadn't occurred. Oh, we're loading up embankments again. It's quite warm in here. So what we've got here is this food items that Matt set up, which he never intended to be placed buried under the ground. Now I've just used them in this level because I thought it'd be interesting having different food items buried under the ground than normal. I mean, chunks of creature might have got splattered and trodden into the mud or something. Or bits that were chewed off by the road beetles that are there. But Matt essentially set them up to randomise their rotations because he never thought they'd be buried. That said, it seems to only randomise them in one set way, so it's kind of weirdly on a 3D plane. As in, each one's got to equal the same thing. So here, if I take a look at it, there we are on 0, 0, 0. Press play.
Many challenges lie ahead for this new society, but if it meets them, it could rise to become a true contender for this patch of the undergrowth.
They'll all have the same, won't they? 4 minus 4, 4. So there we go, that's the issue. And it's rotating this thing here, floating in the sky. This is what's detecting whether it's buried or not. So you can imagine if you rotated that into the wall here, it would think it was buried under that tile. So what do we do about it? I think the simple answer is to just rotate the yaw only. If we have a look at the graph here, it's got to rotate all. It's using the same value. I think what we do is we just remove the rotate all in favour of the rotate yaw only. I think that'd fix it. It'll make things slightly less dynamic elsewhere. So that's the issue as well, because no, what we do so this is the issue here. So rather than just making it flat here, what the main issue is he's rotating the whole thing. There's really no need to rotate the whole thing. Instead, we just rotate the static mesh. So instead, all we're doing here is we're rotating the visuals rather than the actual thing. think I've already fixed this on some things. The praying mantis one must have eluded me.
The Queen has raised her first brood. These loyal subjects will lay the foundations of what could one day be a great subterranean empire.
They are rotation 0, 0, 0. Yet they are still rotated all over the place. Oh, hang on. What's this? This is something else. Whip spidling, tiny chunk. Okay, so we've clearly got some other chunks to work on as well. Is the stream jumping back a second sometimes? Couldn't tell you, I'm not watching it. I don't see how it would jump back a second. Okay. Okay, so the random jumping spider chunk's got the issue. Random whip spidling tiny chunk has got the issue. The random whip spider chunk has got the issue. Okay. I think we need to open these up for edits. And we'll take them on one at a time. This one is actually based on that class, so I've opened a few things. However, I suspect what I should probably do here is edit is go through all of the things that is to do with dead creatures. Okay, that's got nothing. I'm assuming the Devil's Coach Horse chunks don't have anything then. Dead woodworm. No, they don't have anything either. I must have just rotated them manually. Fungus resource. Nope, nothing there. Okay. We've already got Harvestman chunk open. I'm assuming these are just all based off, yeah, they're based off the top level class, so I don't need to change them all. Harvestman leg chunk. That one does need editing. I imagine they're the same. Leaf chunk. Don't think leaf chunk needs doing. Beach wolf spider chunk, that needs doing. Random devil's coach horse chunk. No, it doesn't look like it needs doing. The old stuff doesn't look like it needs doing. I've already got that one open. That one does need doing. Already got that one open. This also might account for some situations where food being dropped onto a food tile might suddenly decide it's in the wall. So this is definitely something we needed to address. The things you find, eh? Things you find. Can't imagine random poppy seed needs doing. No, there's nothing to that class. Random praying mantis adult chunk. I imagine that needs doing. Yep. It's basically all the Ecuador chunks. Yep. I also think, looking at the way it rotates, I think we need 3 different calls to this if we're truly to get a random rotation. So I need to come up with the correct solution and then copy and paste it into all of these. Really, they should be based off one class. So I didn't have to copy and paste it. Maybe that's what I should be doing. To reparenting them. I don't want to mess around with the game too much though at this point. This looks like it's been done in a rush. Okay, I think that's everything. Okay, so we've got to go through all these at the top and deal with them. So it's not actually the level itself that's got any problem with it. That's not set act rotation, it's set rotation. Relative rotation. Okay, so this is what we're doing. So that one's fine. Now this one, I think what we actually need is 3 separate calls. To properly randomize it. So what's this? Whip spider chunk. Hang on. Let me just try doing that because I think that's already set up. Okay, so just going to run I'm just going to compile and save it and run it and take a look at whip spider chunks. See if any look daft. Because yeah, copy and paste, so much effort. Yeah, really, they should all be based off the same class that has a function in it too. I mean, they're all based off resource. Maybe if I move, yeah, that might work.
The queen has raised her first brood. These loyal subjects will lay the foundation of what could one day be a great subterranean empire.
Okay, so which one was it? Random whip spider chunk. Okay, so these are all the random whip spider chunks I have in the map. I just want to make sure none of them have gone absolutely mad. To me, this looks like a random whip spider chunk. Ah, but this is... It's not, it's Harvestman. But this is why he's got the rotate your only. It's exactly because of this, because some of them would look daft if you rotated them in any which direction. But he's decided that already. So none of these chunks should look out of place. Oh, very good. My guess is these ones, yeah, these ones have been rotated on the your axis only. Oh, look at that graphical defect. Something I'd have never noticed. Missing triangles. Alright, Les Draco, good to have you back. Okay. So, rather than copying and pasting this to all the code, that I'm going to cheat and have a look at resource. So everything here is based on resource BP. Have a look at that class. After I do this, I mustn't save the level because it can mess up the level, this. I haven't made any changes to level. There's no need to make any changes to level. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add what I added here. Instead into the resource base class. I'm going to change its name slightly because I don't want it getting confused with the ones that are already in the class. I'm going to hit compile. Rotate you. Rand rotate your only, and rand rotate all. Okay. So compile and save. Now when I do this, it'll want to save every other class that's based on resource, but we don't need to. We only need to save the ones that are open here. See, they've all got a bit confused now. Okay, so I'm going to have to go through and do this to all of them. This is going to be an exciting few minutes for you all. So I delete that Nope. Oh, damn it. So before I do anything here, I'm going to copy and paste so I can just bring them in. Okay, so 0 and why is there a 3 here? Hang on. Did I just do something that I didn't? I don't know why there's a 3. There shouldn't be. Oh, max -1. That should definitely be set to 3, but there shouldn't be a 3 pin. It's pointless being a default either. Okay, so rotate all is that and 0. Your only is just that. Okay. Okay. Moving on to the harvestment. Same process. Delete that. Paste these. Okay. So your only is there. Rotate all is there. Your only is there. The other two are on rotate all. What the heck's followbot.com? How do I ban that? Aha. Yep, that's that dealt with. Concept of being able to pay to become famous is laughable. Fake followers does not make anyone watch you. Okay. So I've changed that, right? Yeah, this one's done. Harvestman leg chunk. Rid of that. Paste that. Paste that. You're only. Get in there. Delete that. Paste that. This one and this one are your only. For your eyes only. So I managed to get rid of most of the copy and pasting, but not all of it. Unfortunately, these are individual decisions based on which static mesh it's using, so it can't be automated. So I was playing Frostpunk last night. Now I played it a couple of nights ago and I didn't much like it, but then when I came back to it last night, I thought I'd give it one more go, and then it had managed to hook me. Very clever game. What's this? Random hapless morsel. This one doesn't look like it needs to be done. No. Get rid of that. Oh, that's true. I haven't actually tried that in this. I'll give it a go. This one looks like it's just rotate all, so. Should we give it a go? Wait till I've saved this. Yeah. There we go. Save myself some accuracy. You're only. Yeah, I'm still only on the first level. The first level's taking hours, but to be fair, that's because I didn't know what I was doing at first, and because I didn't know what I was doing, basically, in Frostpunk, in order to fix a problem, it could take you days, because it's to do with the supply line. So if you're running out of coal and you haven't spotted it in time, and you haven't yet researched Coal Thumper, and there's no more coal on the map, this is what happened to me yesterday, then there's no more easy to grab coal on the map, so you can't just walk up and pick it up anymore. Then I had to start the research project for it, which took a day. However, I didn't have enough wood to do the research project, so it was kind of like a chain of things that happened, which I ended up with hospitalizing loads of people because I'd run out of coal. So by the end of it, everyone was really unhappy with me because because my hospital facilities weren't sufficient to deal with the huge amount of patients that had come in because they got ill because they were cold because there wasn't enough coal because there wasn't enough wood to build to research the coal thumper, and then not enough wood to build the coal thumper. It's a big chain of things. Oh, people are definitely happy with Empires of the Undergrowth. I'm not doubting that for a second. Yeah, our Steam score shows that people are happy with us. I just wish we could get there a bit faster, but we're not. I refuse to compromise on. I refuse to compromise the quality of the game. It's something I've definitely been firm about. I think we're all kind of on the same page about that. It's the old adage that a rushed game is like a delayed game will be eventually good, but a rushed game will forever be bad. I think people have been very patient with us, and I really appreciate that because it's taking years of work to get the game done to the standard that we want it. And like this year, pretty much since the summer, we've been working on the new movement code, and I've been putting stuff in as we're going, but I haven't been able to test it properly. So that's why we've got all these issues with the testing now, because things haven't been tested as I've been going, not properly. But the movement code has taken us a long time. But we're there now with it. Well, we're almost there. There's still a few lingering issues with it. You guys are helping us out find them. Yeah. Yeah, the community's been incredibly patient. It's only the very odd, you know, very small amount of people have become impatient. I can think about it of two or three, um, and even when they do and they post about it, people don't really rally round them, which I find amazing. Everyone's been so patient. Right, I've done a quick search through the code to find any other calls to rand rotate your only. No, to rotate your only. It doesn't look like there's any more. Oh no, hang on, there is. There's one. The one that got away. Oh no, hang on. I think it might have gone. I think that might have come up just before I solved it. Yeah, it's gone. Oh no, hang on, there's one here. Uh-huh. The one that got away. Hopefully, with the dev streams that I do in our monthly newsletter, which I haven't actually put out for a while. I think Mike might be waiting for news of the full release of the release of this patch. What are the promises of the new movement system? The new movement system uses an algorithm called jump point search rather than A-star pathfinding, which is quicker. So the new movement system should allow us to do a lot more movement command calls, theoretically leading to higher colony sizes, which we plan, which is important considering we're about to go into the Fire Ant update, and part of the Fire Ant's identity in our game is their numerousness. To be fair, I think that's probably. I think we're done. Oh, hang on, another one. Random sardine chunk. Another one that got away. So the idea is that the colony sizes should be a lot. We should be able to get them quite significantly bigger than they currently can go. Well, we'll see. It should do. I think with the current systems at the minute, with the bugs that they are in the game, there's still issues that are slowing things down. What was it with these bees about the mount system again? Oh, mount system. Are you talking about being able to climb enemies? That's part of the Fire Ant update. Being able to climb on the back of enemies and attack them. Similar to what leaf cutters do with the plants, but onto moving targets. If that's what you're talking about. Right. One final search, see if we got them all. And rand rotator. Rand. Yeah, okay, looks like we've got all calls in the game to that. Okay. Right. So before I run a test here, I'll just run a quick test, and we'll have a look at the food underground and see if anything looks mad. Because I might have made a mistake. Okay, we've got.
The Queen has raised her first brood. These loyal subjects will lay the foundations of what could one day
That sometimes happens.
subterranean empire.
I think that's to do with the bumping in the wall. I think it's because at certain angles it passes through. I'll have a look at that again. I'll see if there's anything I can do. Okay, anything look mad? That all looks fine to me. Okay, so it should now be slightly more randomised, but we should never get that issue with the tunnelling. Because they're not actually being rotated. The whole thing's not here, it's just the visual of it. Bugs! The bees, the bees. What bees? What? So the underground area get any bigger or we'll be able to control two nests simultaneously? Don't think either of those are currently on the plan. Well, underground areas can be bigger. There's nothing technically stopping that. Okay, so nothing looks like it's been placed in the wall. These should all be at 0, 0, 0. They're all nice and randomised position-wise. Yeah. Pardon me. 1 sec.
The ants must protect the queen.
Oh dear. Oh! Looks like our royal guard solved the problem. Something weird going on with the stream there. It's warping back. What's the food button? M. Okay. Just gonna have a quick look at the Queen's start location there. Because its bum was in the wall. That looks pretty damn central to me. Oh, I can't save the level. It wants to do it. It wants to save everything to do with a. Okay. Right. Hello. I'm just going to close the editor and reopen it again. Yeah, she survived. Okay, so whilst this is closing and reopening, I'm just gonna pull any changes that have come through in the meantime. I think the next patch it'll probably be tomorrow or Sunday. There's a couple of things still, I think. There's been no changes. I think Matt's changed the thorns. Or okay, that's another one that was happening. I'll explain in a sec. Okay, that's rebuilding. Okay, so I don't know if you've noticed, but we've added visuals for the auras for the leaf cutter. I don't think the Queen's a bit in the ground. I think she's a bit in the wall. I think a bum is a bit in the wall, and they're trying to access a bum to get eggs. But anyway, there was a So yeah, the thorns aura and the defensive auras that the leafcutter mages give. Now there is a bug where basically every time it does every tick, a creature will do kind of like a scan nearby for other creatures, and if it's got an aura, it will place an aura onto them. It will also place an aura onto itself when it does it. Now, the aura wasn't tagged properly, so it wasn't given the right name. The Thorns aura specifically, and as such, the effect was applied and then applied again constantly in a tick. So there was just a visual actor being added to the creature every tick. So if you create a Leafcutter Major with Thorns aura at the minute, it will infinitely add these actors into the game, and you'll find that if you look at your memory usage, it skyrockets. A couple of minutes after having one, you'll probably have a crash from running out of memory. Oh, that's not fan art. That's a official drawing. Matt did that one. It was part of the poster. I've got a box of these posters here. I'm not sure what to do with. I'll show you one. There it is. See, these were part of the Kickstarter reward, but the hang on, let me bring the camera back on. These were part of the Kickstarter reward system, but they're on quite an expensive tier, so not many people paid for it. I think we had like 20, 30 of these posters to give out. But when we came to doing a run of the posters to get them made, they were much cheaper. Well, you couldn't get small runs done. You had to get runs of 50. So we got a bunch of these. There's that one. So that's. I love it. I want to put it up on the wall, but I'm in a rented house, so I can't hammer them into the wall. Yeah, it's actually really quite detailed. It's difficult to see with the webcam. But yeah, there's the underground and the below ground there, with the split. It's the same on the website as well. And there's also an Ampfax poster. Now the Ampfax poster includes some species that aren't actually going to be in the game, at least not in the version 1.0 version of the game. It's still in its processes. So let's pull out the Ampfax poster. This one, I don't think this one's quite as pretty as the other one, but it is very cool in a sense that it's got some images that we paid for from Alex Wild on it. And also our 3D models of the ants with a size scale below them, and a picture of where they're from in the world. I'm doing my back in trying to hold this up. Just gotta be careful I don't spill them all over the floor. And then there's a description of each type of ant. But we don't have the Formica on here because I wanted to... Oh god, bending, I don't want to break them. Yeah. The Formica aren't on there because I wanted to keep them real. So, oh god. This is going well. Oh. So yeah, we've got a run of those posters. I was wondering whether we could do some sort of... Because I know there's websites that potentially... I think we don't even have to do anything. I think basically we just put the posters up on these sites. We upload the digital artwork to the sites. And they basically sell them for you, deliver them, and you get a cut of the profit. I think that would be worth doing. Just, if anything, just to allow people to be able to buy them, because these wonderful posters that have been made and people can't... only that it was a Kickstarter reward. But I personally don't want to deal with the hassle of delivering posters and then dealing with the tax implications of it all. So maybe doing it through a website like that, where they sort most of that out, is the right idea. I don't know. We'll see. There's also the juggle there between people who backed at the Kickstarter. Should they have exclusive access to it? We never said we'd give them exclusive access, and they just feel kind of ashamed to have put all that work into the poster only for a run of what? 30, something like that got sent out. Remember the hassle of delivering them? Thankfully, all the posters were either European or United States, which is fairly easy to post to. Just waiting for the engine to boot back up at the minute. Right, I'll carry on chatting about the changes that have been made. So where did I get to? I hadn't got there yet. Don't think I got there yet. Okay, I'll go from here. So yeah, Liam had done the new trail calculations. I think that was the last thing I said. See you, Let's Draco. Have a good Friday. I'm going out for a mate's birthday later, so I'm really quite looking forward to that. When you've got children like I do, you don't get as many opportunities to go out as I used to, so... Okay, so So I've got Brood Sisters flagged as non-Formicarium level, so that should deal with the return to Formicarium button at the end of Brood Sisters. That should be fixed. That'll stay just exit level again and take you back to the main menu. Embankment path build. Rainforest loading screen added to the embankment level. So when you load free play into embankment, you should now have. I'm going to turn the light on. You should now have the right loading screen. Added a null pointer check for a crash. Matt says frame rate changed. Now correctly saves and reloads as expected. Okay, so the frame rate change won't stop each time you do it, each time you reload. Fixed a duplication issue with honeydew resources that would cause large greater spheres to appear in and around food storage tiles. So there was an issue where large grey spheres would appear, and that was apparently to do with honeydew. Fixed an issue with minim lookup, where a minim looks for a drop-off point and repaths at the same time. No longer loses the food. Beach wolf spider hats are now non-collidable, so they don't stop you placing markers. I remember seeing the loading screen with my army ants and leaf cuts when loading embankment map. When you, I think it was when you start, it shows that. However, when you load it, it doesn't. It shows the beach. Fixed a stone mask error. Creatures no longer phase out when finding their emergency escape route. Okay. Minims now sweep. Okay, so a lot of these issues to do with the minims getting stuck in the wall. I think Liam's implemented a fix for that one. Plant and leaf landmarks now properly delete themselves. Okay, so what this was causing in free play was, particularly on embankment where there wasn't many points that they could spawn, was basically a plant spawning in one of those points would hog that point. So it would just stop more landmarks spawning. That's now been changed, so now more leaf landmarks should spawn and the plants should properly despawn. Fixed an issue plaguing free play since its inception. After loading, landmarks will no longer be able to spawn on top of other landmarks. So you might have noticed that sometimes landmarks spawn in the same spot, so like a fish on top of a funnel web spider. That won't be able to happen anymore. Some optimization for the leaves added. I tripled the places where landmarks can spawn on embankment, so there's a load more places that landmarks can spawn. And also I increased the number of landmarks that do spawn on embankment from 10 to 16 as the starting landmarks, and from 9 to 30 up to 13 a day. So a lot more landmarks will spawn on embankment. Leaf Cutter Queens now properly trigger defeat in free play. That was a funny one. Embankment map icon added. Oh, the engine's open, by the way. I'm going on and the engine's already open. Yeah, more put by the almighty hand of God, yeah. The almighty hand of God. Which is just me pressing keyboard keys. Okay, so I'll come back to that in a minute. Stream's not going to go on for much longer, people. So we've solved an issue now with the food sources. I'm going to check now with the Devil's Coach Horse larvae. They're meant to only be attacking things that are flagged, that are not flagged as pick upable. But let's have a look, shall we? Okay, I need my test level for this. Oh god, that blimmin'... Are these becoming more common on Twitch now? These spam bots. How do you destroy the funnel web spider nest in free play? It eventually goes away. You can kill the spiders in it, but they do respawn slowly. Okay. Right, so these are apparently attacking things they shouldn't. So this is a leafcutter major chamber. Now they can't kill leafcutter majors. So what you'll notice is that was interesting because it attacked the minim. Right, so I need to stop them from trying to attack unkillable creatures as well. Let me just check what the flag for unkillable is. Oh. Okay, hang on. You have to bear with me 1 sec, 'cause my computer's going mental because for some reason clicking on the creatures tab sends it mad. Minim shouldn't get eaten. Right. There we are. There's only one creature there, so it's not gone mad. I need to find out what the issue with that is, you know. Okay, so something here will be flagged as unkillable. It should just be in creature stats. Says you are invisible. Can be attacked. There we are. So that will be the flag that we need to check whether they can be attacked. So this is the decision-making process of the beach tiger beetle larvae. It's very basic. I might one day want to put this into C++ because things like this that run frequently are actually performance issues. Okay, so let's have a quick look. So it gets the nearby creatures. Is it allied with it? It does a check first. If true... Ah, there's the issue. So there's the cannot be picked up flag. So bool, am I allied with? Am I allied with is true, it shouldn't do anything. If it's false, it should then do the cannot be picked up. Can I be attacked? Get can be attacked. So if can be picked up is false and can be attacked is not, can be attacked is true. If can be attacked is true, not is false. No, it doesn't work. Okay, let's just do another branch. We'll just add a separate check rather than trying to be clever with ands and ors. Let's just do a separate check. Okay, so here we got, if you're allied with is false and cannot be picked up is false and can be attacked is true, then it goes down here. There's a line trace. Adds it to the target list. My count is greater than 1. Okay. Okay. Right, so that should do it. It should no longer attack the minims, and it shouldn't attack the majors. There, it's not attacking either. However, if I drag over this, which is actually a fire ant worker, I know it looks like a black ant, you have to use your imagination, but it will attack that. It's a busy major. Go on, get it. The immortal creature. Uber to beach dive with alive. Cannibalism is the true solution. Can the tiger beetle larva eat hostile tiger beetle larva? Yes, actually. I don't know what that'll do though, but there's only one way to find out. Slowing down. Okay, colony ID -2. Okay, so now they're hostile to each other. However, we're going to have to bring over a tasty morsel to entice them both out. So they won't be able to see each other until they're both out. Okay, so... Go away. That was one of them. This one's pervasive fire ant. Right. Oh, they're not attacking each other. I wonder why not. Oh, I bet they're flagged as cannot be picked up. That's the hole. Where's the lava? There it is. Yeah, cannot be picked up. No, so no, they can't. Unless... This is a really useful use of my time, by the way. You're not going to go for it? I know what the issue was there. Oh no, maybe I don't. No, I don't. I don't know what the issue was there. I need this one over here to come out. Oh yes, there we go. There we go. Success. Still be picked up by funnel webs. Right. Okay, and on that note, I think I'll end the stream. Now we've done some science. So yeah, thanks very much. Thanks very much for joining me. We managed to get a few bugs squashed, which is great. I need to remember which ones so I can add them to the source control. But yeah, until next time, I've got to get going now. So have a good weekend, and I shall see you. Not tomorrow. I should see you next week. Science with John. Yes. See you next week. Ta-ra.